Hello, you're welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a folder, how to navigate to the folder, and how to create a new file within your folder using the command line interface. So, in my previous video, I showed you how to do that using the file tab. This time around, you are going to use the command line interface in Visual Studio Code. So the first thing is, let's open up Visual Studio Code. If you haven't yet installed Visual Studio Code, follow my tutorial on how to install Visual Studio Code and using Visual Studio Code for the first time. I'll provide a link to the video in the description. So now Visual Studio Code is open. What I want to do is that I want to use my terminal. Now go to terminal, new terminal, and then if I open up my file tab, if I open up my file explorer, I will notice that within documents I have a folder called Academy. So it is within this Academy folder I want to create a new folder, or I can also create it within the documents folder. So first of all, let me type cd, which stands for change directory, and then the name of the directory you want to navigate to, which is documents. So once you do that, you have navigated to the documents, which is this current folder now. Now notice currently we have 3 folders within this documents folder. Now let's create another folder called, to create another folder you say mkdir, which stands for make a directory, and then the name of the directory, let's call it HTML for beginners. Okay, and press enter. Now what this does is that it creates a folder called HTML for beginners. And you can see the folder has been created, HTML for beginners, by running that command mkdir followed by the name of the folder you want to create. Now I want to go into that folder. Normally if you are using your user interface, you want to enter into a folder, you can also enter into a folder using the command line tool by saying cd, which stands for change directory, and type the name of the directory, which is HTML for beginners. Type exactly the same thing, HTML for beginners. Now we've entered into this folder and there is no error. That means we've entered into the folder. As you can see, we are in the folder. Now to open up the folder in VS Code, simply type code dot. Now when you type code dot, this HTML for beginners folder opens up in a new Windows. Currently the old window, we don't need it. The previous window, we don't need it. Let's close it. And then now we are within this folder. You can see it in the Explorer, File Explorer. The folder has been opened. Currently the folder is open. As you can see, the folder we just created, documents, HTML for beginners, is empty. Now we're going to use the command line interface to create a new file within it. So open up the command line interface. Let me reduce the size by saying press Ctrl minus to reduce the size a bit. Then you press terminal, new terminal, and then type in echo. Remember we are within the HTML for beginners folder. We want to make sure that you are there. Then type echo greater than sign, and then the name of the file you want to create. Let's create index.html file. So you see, once you type that command, notice here that a new file has been created, index.html. Now we can also confirm it by checking. You see, within this folder beginners, a file has been created, index.html. So now we can enter into the index.html folder and do whatever we want. Okay, can now begin writing our code here. So thank you for watching this video. Please like this video and give it a thumbs up as it helps me to grow on YouTube.